That's a cool thumbnail. And I think pretty much represent what is going on in Milan right now. A fan, hyped up fan that want to see something about the team, and the team doesn't respond. He's a skeleton. So he's a dead body. There is a dead body. There is no answer there. So we are the fans, trying to hype up this do something, man, do something team. On the other side, there is again like that body, a sleeping giant. Some people on the internet also compare Milan with Manchester United, the similar situation, sleeping giant, that now they are in a ridiculous situation. Both of them, they don't live in the same. Let's say their expectations are super high, but the reality is down below here. Uh, I always smile when I see those kind of comparison, because just so you know, uh, historically, and talking about the achievement reached throughout the career, Milan and Manchester United, they are not in the same league. Okay, historically, Milan is above Manchester United, above AC Milan historically, and count the trophies, the Ballon d'Or, and everything. It is just below, no, just below, no, but now it's way below Real Madrid. Everyone else is below them. Okay, so of course we are right now in the same situation. For an unexpert, or people that doesn't follow too much football, we are literally on the same level. You see a lot of hype around these big clubs, but we can make it. Fun enough, because both of our teams, they are uh, in the hands of incompetent, in the hands of I think Americans as well, and for Manchester United, that they saw the perfect brand. I think at level of brand, actually Manchester United's even bigger than Milan, a level of brand, merchandising and so on. And so that's it. So that's the thing. Like, they already have a perfect machine going on. They already have a perfect business going on. Why change it? Why even invest even more money? Every time, for example, Manchester United, I remember in the last previous season, constantly buying some good player, and when they sell the jersey after a few days, they pretty much already they pretty much already cover the cost of the player, just with the t-shirt sold. So for them, that's it. The stadium is full every single Sunday. Do they play in the Champions League? Good. Do they don't? Doesn't matter. People come to San Siro, to Old Trafford anyway. People come to they it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. They have the perfect business there. So yes, there are less true fans in maybe, for example, in Old Trafford. When I was there a few years back, it was full of people like me there. I was tourist, I was watching, but it was literally full, and there was sometimes it was very, very, very quiet. You can literally hear the sound of the player hitting the ball, touching, tack, 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 which is, for example, in San Siro, it's impossible to hear it. But for historical reason, they did that, because in England you cannot have the curva, because they, for the hooligan stories. But these owners, they already have their money back, with those 150 pounds ticket minimum. In San Siro, the same. You see the last match against, who was it against, in Milan, was against Verona, was it? I think, yes, was Verona. 70,000 people, make an average of what, 100 150 euro ticket. You do the math, just like that, to see Verona, almost risking to bring home the draw. So against 7 times European champions AC Milan. Unbelievable, unreal, really. We are in a situation that I hope that it's hard to believe. It's really hard to believe. So as crazy as been this season in Milan, I can almost feel that against Bologna and Lazio we're gonna win. Because now that we don't have any more hope for this Milan, now that we don't have more hope about this team, that's when we're gonna start sparkle. You know, that's when we're gonna see a victory against Bologna and a victory against Lazio, because that's Milan. And then when you think, okay, we are back in the race, maybe we can back in Champions League, the week after we're gonna draw, we're gonna lose. There's gonna be something crazy going on. I mean, this is literally a psychopath season, and I hope it's gonna be over as soon as possible. I cannot stand it. I cannot stand it. Now, talking about Ibrahimovic, guys, Zlatan Ibrahimovic did an interview for CQ, which is a famous fashion news agency, newspaper, magazine. That's the word I wanted to say. He came out with some of his words, you know, always boosting his ego. But also, I want to talk a little bit about this because we saw constantly Zlatan Ibrahimovic sometimes even in a pre-match interview. We saw in a press conference. We see Zlatan Ibrahimovic everywhere, but he comes out saying that he doesn't work for AC Milan. He works for Redbird. So it makes me feel, okay, so if he doesn't actually work for Milan, who the fuck is working for Milan? Who is in the hands of Milan now? Okay, so let's go through some of his comments, some of his words. Let's analyze it a little bit, and let's see what bullshit this guy comes out with, you know. So Zlatan Ibrahimovic spoke to GQ Italia on wearing a suit. So as a footballer, you're always in tracksuits. In sportswear, wearing whatever you want. At the start, I promised the team, you will never see me in a suit and tie. But everything changed quickly. Money. Do I like wearing suits? No, I admit it. I don't feel comfortable. I am an athlete, a man of sport. So it's like, here again is about his ego, you know, showing that he's coming from the streets, coming that he's, I don't really want to be a manager. I'm here because of the money. Okay, because probably they made a great offer with great potential of investment, and here I am. Every time I want to dress how I like. Helena, Helena, which is his wife, looks at me and says, "Today, you have to wear the suit." I reply, "Why?" And she says, "Because you have a press conference. So put on the tie and be quiet. Let's go." But I understand it too. Today I don't dress to represent who I am. I dressed for the role I have. Today I represent Milan. I represent Redbird. I'm not gonna be myself. I'm gonna be somebody else. Why? Because somebody else is wearing me. Somebody else is giving me the clothes. Somebody else, I'm gonna be their model. They want me to dress as a clown, I dress as a clown. Do you want me dressed as a nurse? I dress like a nurse. Because you're part of Redbird, they tell me to dress like this, I dress like this. I represent Milan, you have to wear a shirt. Honestly, I don't really care whatever you wear, you know. I don't care how you look. I judge you on the base on what are you in charge of, and you're in charge of Milan. And so far, I don't see fucking shitty result. I don't only see shitty result. So you can wear whatever you want. I don't really care. Zlatan Ibrahimovic said also, just like on the field, that teamwork is the most important things here. That's what I told Jerry Cardinale when I accepted to work with him. I told him clearly, this is no longer a one-man show. I am not here to save anyone. If you think so, let's drop it right now. I'm not here to save the situation. I'm here to learn from others and help them bring out their best. Learn, help, teamwork. What does it mean? I'm not here to save anyone. If you think so, let's drop it here. I'm not here to save the situation. What situation? What situation? Because so I'm trying to elaborate this. So this is an interview made clearly a few weeks back, maybe even months back, okay? So this is the talk that Zlatan Ibrahimovic had with Jerry Cardinale. and I'm not here to save anyone. I'm not the saver. But saver from what? From what kind of situation? From the football situation, from the economic situation? Clearly, I think it's from the football situation, because this is why he got hired, because he was getting hired to try to maintain good performance for AC Milan. But he saw the situation. But the situation when he entered in Milan, it was already, it was okay, it was good. So there was no meaning. Actually, when Redbird entered is the year after that we won the Scudetto. So that moment was perfect. That moment was perfect. So what was to save there? Maybe it was, now he's saying that I'm not here to save the team, I'm here to learn. So he's taking time, in other words. He's taking time trying to, taking time to try to learn a little bit more about how to be a manager. To be fair, I don't think when he signed up for this job, I don't think he will enter in this kind of environment. I think Ibra just wanted to be an investor. He wanted to be literally a figure, yes, from Red Bull, yes, for Milan, but the figure here that he's describing is not too close to the club, not too close, sorry, to the players. So again, we are missing a sport director. We don't have anybody in that position. That is something that is missing. So hopefully we're going to find somebody that is able to connect the figure of Ibra. And also, let's be very, very, if this is the situation that we have to keep maintaining this red board, and we have to keep maintaining Jerry Cardinale, and we have to keep Zlatan Ibrahimovic because he's investor of Redbird, of course he needs somebody to stay close by, because I clearly don't see Furlani, definitely Scaroni, not a good. Scaroni is the president of AC Milan, but he's a puppet. It doesn't. If you hear the interviews that he does in Italian, are ridiculous. Literally 3 days before Fonseca was fired, he was saying, no, there is no problem. We don't have to change anything. Fonseca is going to stay with us a long time. Talking about striker, I don't think we need an extra striker. So he's a puppet. He doesn't need it. The same, I think, is for Furlani. He doesn't really have an experience or a strong leadership, a strong influence into the club. The one, in my opinion, that is working well, that it's actually bringing good players, not all the time, but really good talents. The Fofana, the Reinders, the Pulisic, the Jimenez. I think Jeffrey Moncada is actually working. He got some good talents that he brought in Milan, surely. Okay. We will see. That's probably the only one that I personally will save so far. The others, oh my god. I spoke with Furlani, the CEO. He liked our conversation and told me, you should meet Jerry Cardinale. So I met him. We talked. He wanted to know more about me, what I want, what I am, to get to know me better. Then he said, I want you at Redbird, not at Milan, at Redbird. I want you to work with Milan. Bring in your experience, learn other side of football, the one you don't see on the field, finance number, how everything works. So here is the main question. If Zlatan Ibrahimovic doesn't work for Milan, but works for Redbird, and I want you to work with Milan. So who's working for Milan? So who's working for Milan if Zlatan, he works for Redbird? Jerry Cardinale is Redbird. So who's working for Jeffrey Moncada work for Milan? CEO Furlani working for Milan. So we have a president. We have a CEO that never show up in any match. So the question is, why Ibrahimovic got all the heat? He should get Furlani. I don't see any post against Furlani. I don't see any post against Scaroni. This is scary, not knowing who is in charge. Who is in charge of Milan right now? We don't know this. Unbelievable. I made a joke, a classic Ibra joke, right? But I always depend on who you joke with. Talking about I'm the boss, talking to you, maybe I wouldn't say it, but there were former players, so I said I'm at the boss and everyone works for me. The first time I said it in an interview in English, but I added that it was a joke because then I also clarify my role as an advisor. I represent the ownership, everything else. But obviously, when I was a player, a joke like that was taken in a certain way. Now everyone interprets whatever they want. Of course, you don't care. You are a billionaire, so of course you don't care. It's just not very respectful towards all the audience that Milan has around the world, all the fans that pay the ticket, all the working family that they bring their kids there. Of course, that doesn't really matter. But if I have what I believe is the leader of my team saying I'm the boss, everyone has to shut up and listen what I'm doing. Everyone have to respect what I'm saying, and the result are this: you lose respect. You lose respect because one thing is you're a player, and when Zlatan was a player, he was talking shit, but he was also delivering. Now you can deliver, so either you change the way you're talking. I think he's in contrast also him himself. What I should do? Do I go back as Ibra as a brand, or I represent Redbird and Milan? It's not easy. It's not easy because if you say something like this, people will get pissed. So it's not really a nice thing to say. I can't stand this guy. Jerry Cardinale is very attached to Milan. He wants to succeed Milan. He's obviously central in Redbird's plan. Of course, who doesn't? What company doesn't? What club doesn't say I don't want I don't want to succeed? He wants to bring Milan back where he deserves to be, in his way, with his vision, his ambition. And we follow that path. He has put the right people to manage Milan. And he gives your responsibility, but in return he wants one single thing's result, which we're not gonna have it, which is not gonna have it. So after reading these words of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, make me even more worried because I don't know who's in charge of Milan. I thought that Ibrahimovic was the person in charge. Instead, he works for Redbird and is working for AC Milan, not with AC Milan. Or with AC Milan, well, whatever you got, well, you know what I mean. So who is in charge of AC Milan? Nobody. We clearly need a sport director, I'm sure, but we need a fucking Italian. We need it. We don't need more Teddy Cromford. We don't need Mr. Kripovic. We don't need. We need a pure breed Italian, grow up in Serie A, with experience in Serie A, with experience to dealing with the media, with the attitude and the attention of somebody that wants to bring Milan back where it deserved. I don't want any more foreigner. I don't want to sound bad because nowadays when you say I don't want a foreigner, it sounds funny. But I'm saying in football, in my team, where all the single player are foreigner, they're playing in Italy, and there is not a single Italian player. There are not a single the coach, the staff, everyone is foreigner. Clearly they don't know how to deal with the press. Clearly they don't know how to deal with the fans. We need somebody that knows how to do these things. We need somebody who knows how to do this thing. As I said in the beginning of the video, now I don't know how long is the video, maybe I didn't say, or maybe I said on the video that I discarded because I was going with my thought way too far from the topic. But I don't think that this Milan, it cannot compete. I don't believe that Milan cannot compete against Napoli, against Atalanta, against Fiorentina, against Lazio, against Juve, against Inter. I don't think, because name by name, this Milan, it's a freaking good team. It's a freaking good team. If we were playing FIFA with this team against any other AC Milan in the last 15 years, 15 years now, we can say. The last one was, the only one that maybe can compete a little bit was the last Ibrahimovic 2011, Thiago Silva, Seedorf, Casa. That team probably could compete with this one, name by name, maybe. But other than that, this is a hell of a team, and I don't think that we are not good as Atalanta, as Napoli, as freaking Fiorentina, as Juventus, as Inter, especially. So the only thing I'm not asking right away to win trophies. Of course, that will be incredible and happen already in January, and we love it. And probably that is going to be the brightest things that we have this year. But what I'm saying is, we just want to compete. We just want to be there. The only thing remaining now is one, the Coppa Italia, that very possible is going to be a derby in the semi-final to reach the final. And the other one, it is not even a title race. It's a fourth position race. It smells like banter area. And this Milan is not going to reach the fourth spots, because what is going to happen now? I tell you, I can see the oncoming from the future. What is going to happen now? Thursday against Bologna, victory. Sunday against Lazio, victory. Next match against, I think it's Como in Milan, draw. And then when we think that we are coming back, boom, defeat, another defeat. This is a freaking season, guys. It's like this. Sorry to be sounding a little bit pessimistic, guys, but I think right now there's not much to be happy about this AC Milan. So let me know what you think. Believe in this AC Milan. Forza Milan, Forza Milan, Forza Milan. Ciao.